Okay, so we have started our discussion on arrays. Let me repeat once again, like what is an array, what is the use, like what was the problem statement that we were talking about. So when we say array is a group of or a collection of similar type of objects or primitive data types. What we can say, arrays are objects in Java. Why we need? Suppose we want to represent a group of objects or group of data with a single name, then we can use it. For example, we take a class of a student, have 60 students. To store their roll numbers, what we need to do is we need to create 60 variables for roll number, or what we can just do is we can create an array of roll number that will be enough to store all these 60 numbers. Now, how to declare an array? So to declare an array, what we can do is, let me clear it once and we'll start writing again from the scratch. So syntax would be like this: how to declare an array. We can say access modifier, then data type, then there would be data type, then we will have this parenthesis symbol, sorry, not parenthesis, close square bracket, equals to, when we say declaration, then it will be only this. For example, access modifier is one more thing would be there, sorry, data type, then name of array, or just we can say array name, then this parenthesis. We can write like public or private or protected, right, for access modifier. Then the data type is, let's say, int. Name of array is, let's say, roll numbers. Like this we can declare. Now second thing is memory allocation. How we will allocate memory, like for an object what we need. For example, we have seen constructors, right, in our previous class. So whenever we want to work with object, first we need to create those objects. So as arrays are objects, we need to create them first. So for that, what we can just do is we can say syntax would be like this: name of array, then equal to new keyword and the data type that we took earlier. And here we will be having square bracket with size, like how many elements or objects you want to store. For example, we have an array of roll numbers. Name of our array was roll numbers. Now we can say new. So we took data type as int, we will be using int only for this example, and the size we are taking is 10. So this is basically called memory allocation. Like we are saying, hey Java, do one thing: reserve 10 memory locations of integer type with this name. Okay, then next thing is initialization. So for initialization, what we can just do is we can say something like this. So when we say int 10, that means an array will be created like this. So this will be zeroth index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so these are indexes. Whenever you want to access or you want to keep something into these locations, what you will be doing, you will be using the index with the name of array. So for example, I want to keep 100 at this position at zeroth index. So I can write it like this: roll numbers of index. Which index? 0. Do one thing, keep 100 at zeroth index, so it will store 100 here. Like, and for example, I want to add 101 at place 1, I mean the index 1, so I can write it like this. Now later on, if you want to print, you can say system print, or you want to access, simply you can say system dot out dot print roll numbers of, let's say, 1. So I'm saying 1 here. So what it will be printing, it will print the value which we have at first index, so that is 101 will be printed. Okay, in when we talk about array, there is a property called length, which is similar to this size. Like if I took 10, then length of this array will be 10, but indexes will be 0 to 9. We cannot access an index which is not really present in the array, so we can only access 0 to 9. So Java is, what Java does, like whenever we have an array, we works with an array, it checks its bound, like what are the lower bound, what are the upper bound. So lower bound is 0 and upper bound is 9. If we go beyond uh, these limit, so what we will be getting, array index out of bounds exception. That is array index out of bounds exception we will be getting. Okay, so this was the process of allocation, memory allocation, then initialization. Whenever we say like this, I'm highlighting this one, roll numbers new in 10, that means what are the default values for integer will be assigned to all the places or all the locations. So when I said this particular line, it will be like 000 will be there at the moment when I say roll numbers equals to new int 10. So all the locations will be initialized with the default value. Now we can create an array in single step, like uh, data type, there would be access modifier, then array name, would be there, then this parenthesis is equals to new data type, and then size we can do as well. Like earlier we were doing in two step, these two step we were doing declaration, then we were doing memory allocation. It can be done in single step like this. This is also possible. Okay, now let's start some practical. Okay, I'm going to create a class. Let me take class. An example, what I'm doing, I'm taking main method here. In this main method, I'm saying we will be having an array of integer int roll numbers. Okay, so there are, like, we can write this square bracket here, or we can write it here. So there is no difference. Basically, we can use like this as well. Then next thing would be roll numbers. We need to allocate memory. So roll numbers is equals to new int how many number you want to enter. So I'm saying 10. So in this array we can have 10 elements. So let me print 0 and let me print the ninth one. Okay, and check what we are getting. So you can see, sorry, we need to get the number from the array. So it will be zero, roll numbers of 0, then roll number, and then we will be pass the index. Okay, so it will be 0 0. So when I say new intent, that means the default value for integer will be assigned to all the available indexes. Okay, now what if I say -1, which is not a valid index? So what we are getting is array index out of bounds exception. Now if I say, just to show you, like, if our program getting completed or not, so this is the start and this is the end. You can see we have started a program, but and we are not getting, like, our program is not getting completed, getting executed till the end. What we are getting is java.lang.array index out of bounds exception at line. See, this is our class name and it is indicating where exactly the error is. So it's saying java 8 means array example.java, and this colon 8 means line number 8. If I just click, it will uh, navigate me to there. So basically the problem is with this particular index -1, or even it is getting displayed here as well. This particular index is not available in the array. Okay, so we cannot access an index which is not exist. Let's say I am saying 10 this time, so for this line there is no error, but for this line, when we are saying access 10th index, that is not available. So what we are getting is java.lang.array index out of bounds, which 10, where at line number 9, which is basically this one. And one more thing you should notice, we are getting 0. So from where this 0 is coming, from this is out. After this the program is getting terminate. So make sure when works with an array, do not go beyond the limit. What I mean by limit is the available indexes, like the least index would be 0 and the max would be size -1. Getting my point? Now next thing, let's say I want to initialize these roll numbers. So for example, for the time being I'm just taking 5 roll numbers. So these are the 5 numbers I am having. 100, then I say we have 101, then I'd say we have 102, then let's say we have 103, and let's say we have 104. Okay, and the index would be like 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now if I print 0, that is fine, 1 is also fine, and similarly we can have till 4. So I'm printing 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So you can see we are getting all the numbers whatever we have in that array. Okay, now let me know one thing: is it a good way to do our stuff or to complete a task? For example, there are 100 or thousands of element in an array, and we want to go through with each and every element. So we need to write this statement as much the number we have as much, right? So for example, we have 100 elements, so we need to write it 100 times. So better way can be like, can you think about it? Except Pravina, anybody else?
For loop, we can use for loop.
Mohammed Danis, very good. What about others? Gurpreet, Prasanti, Suroja, Ambi, Geeta. Nested loop. Mamta, why nested loop?
Nested for loop.
For this particular problem, we don't really need a nested
Here
loop.
only
So
for loop.
look at the pattern here. We have 0, we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4. So that pattern we can achieve using a loop. Yes or no? Like if I say for writing roll numbers dot length. So if you know the size, so you can just simply like this, less than 5, like size in this case is 5. So instead of hard coding the size here, what we will be using, less than length. So what does it mean? The length basically for this array is 5, and when we say length I less than length, so that means whenever I will become 5, the condition will be false, and we need to break our loop. So we are starting from 0 and going till the length of less than length of the array. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 we will be going. Let me just show you guys. I'm just printing I here, and let's say for a moment this stuff is not here. So we will be getting like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, the pattern basically which we have. Can you see it? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what we need to do is we need to just say we need to access an index which is I from the array roll numbers. So we can write it like this. This will solve our problem. Like what we were doing earlier, we don't really need to do that. Make sense?
Yeah, here I mean here
you can
it's
move this
need.
stuff into a loop as well. Okay, so whenever works with an array, use this property, and also not, we cannot go till this point. Like if I'm saying if I'll say equal to, then you'll get exception and index out of bounds, you can see. So it should be less than, like this. Anybody has any doubt till this point, or we can proceed to next step? All clear, very good. So now write down a question. You need to write a program that will take an array, or where we will be creating an array of integers, let's say first 10 integers, and we need to find sum of that array. First we will be entering first 10 numbers into that array, then we will be doing sum of that particular array. Or let it be like, don't the first 10 numbers, let me ask user, ask some numbers and keep them into an array, right? So for example, I want to ask a number from user. What we can do is, we have scanner sc is equals to new scanner, okay, system.in. Then we can say for roll numbers dot length, just do one thing, sc dot next int. So it will ask for a number, it will keep that number into num variable, and we can keep that into the array using the help of I, like this. Before asking for a number, we should also show the prompt, like enter number. Here I'm doing I plus 1, so I will start from 0, that's why I'm saying 1. So it will say enter number 1, enter number 2, enter number 3, and it will keep going, and the data user will enter will be stored into this particular array. Okay, so let me quickly run it so that you guys can see. So it is asking for number 1, I'm saying 1001. It is saying enter number 2, I'm saying 1002, 3, 4, 5, and it will print all the numbers after that. Till this point, any doubt? So like this, you can use, you can take user input and keep that data into the array, like we are doing here. Mamta, I didn't get your point. Mamta, I didn't get your point. Are you listening? What do you mean by if we have to erase, then how to access? I didn't get it.
I mean, like when
Anybody
we are
else who get this question? Like, I'm not able to understand what
can you
Sivana
hear me
asked.
now? Hello,
Hello?
hello. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you. Yes, yes, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
like when we are doing pattern printing, in
Mm-hmm.
that case we are using nested for loop, right? So how we get matrix?
Mm-hmm. So
So
I'm,
there,
yes, yes, tell me.
so there we have to use nested for loop, right?
But we haven't covered that case right now. I was asking just for this particular problem. Why we need nested loop in this case?
No, in this I'm not talking about this case.
Okay. So the matrix thing I haven't talked about. I'm not sure like why you were talking about the nested loop. Yes, definitely we will be using nested for loop, but for this particular problem we don't really need it.
Yeah, that's I know.
Okay. So any doubt till this point, or we can move to next step? Clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
Baljit, are you getting? Okay, so the array we were looking at is called single dimensional array. Similarly, we can have 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional array. We can have, like, for example, this time I'm taking, we have an array int, array of integer type, let's say int arr of, for this particular problem I am saying, let's say it's a matrix. So sorry, we cannot write the size at left hand side. So at left hand side it would be empty only. Then we'll say new int 3 of 3, like, so in last example we have seen our data was getting stored in this format, this one, right? Now if we have 2-dimensional array, then how the data will be stored, let's look at that. So we can see here there will be indexes in the form of 3 3. So when we say just 10 in last case, so indexes were 0 to 9, but when we are looking at this, so we can see there will be indexes from 0 to 2, right? And for this we will be having 0 to 2. Okay, so what we can do is, like, this will be an array of contiguous memory location. Like this there will be 9 memory location. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2, this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. How many array of these type? 3. This is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. This is called 2-dimensional array. And top of that, what we have is, we have a name which is basically ARR. Getting my point? Let's say I have some numbers here. Let's say 20, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. Okay, now we want to access data, or we want to keep data in this particular array. So what we need to do is, we cannot access the data like saying, just saying ARR of 0 or 1 or 2. We cannot access that. What we need to do is, we need to make use of 2 square bracket, right? Getting my point? So when we say, let's say I want to access this element, this particular element, that is 50. So what I'll say, ARR, it falls where? In 1. So from ARR, the first index, which is this one, choose the first one. So if I say system.out.println like this, we'll get 50. Getting my point? If I say do one thing, ARR of 0 to make it 100. So what it will do, it will go at 0th index. So when we say array 0, that means we are talking about this one. When we say 2, that means we are talking about this particular index. So it will be replaced with 100. Are you following, guys? What if I say ARR of 1 of 3? I'm just saying system.out.println this.
Index out of that exception will come.
Yes. So basically, the first index we have here first index, but when we see 3, there are only 2 indexes. Getting my point? So for this, we will get array index out of bounds exception. Make sense? Now, how we will represent this in memory? That explanation makes sense to you or not? It can be a triple, or I'd say 3-dimensional array. For example, this case I'm taking int arr equal to new int 2 4, so it will become 8, and I'm taking 2. Okay, how will be the indexing for this particular case? So total, how many elements will be there? 2 into 4, 8, into 2, 16. So 16 element would be there. For example, like, so what we need to do is we need to make 0 1 0 1. We need to do indexing 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1, let's say 0 and 1. Okay, how many of this type? This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Okay, so we have covered 8 element. Getting my point? Then again 0 1 2 3 and 4. How many of this type? 2, 0 and 1, and this complete thing is called array. So for example, if I want to access this particular position, what we need to write? Can anybody tell me the end position, what we will be writing?
0 0 0 0 1
array
1
of,
like that.
array of, why 0 0 0? We can see it's 1, so we'll say array of 1, then 4, then 1. Sorry, it's not 0 1 2 0 1 2 0 1 2 3. So it won't be there basically. This would be the last position, and we'll say 0 3 1, sorry 1 3 1. So 1 is basically representing to this entire array. When we say in this array go to third one, so basically we have the smaller array here, and from this what we want to access? The last one, which is 1. Make sense? Or you guys are confused? Let me know. Okay, let me take an example. So earlier what we were doing, we were having the numbers entered by user. Now in this case, what I'm saying, we can initialize the array if we know the values in the beginning. We can say like this: 10 20 30 40 50 60 and 70 80 90 and 100. So I have 10 values. It would go here, like when we are creating the array like this, we can write. Okay, so in this array we have 10 elements, and we are just printing all of those. one by one. So you can see we are getting 10 to 100 getting print. Okay, now next thing what I'll do is I'll create an array of 2 by 2, sorry 3 by 3. So basically in 3 by 3 array there will be how many elements? 9 elements. That means there would be an array of arrays like this, or we can say there will be sub array inside this, something like this. So when we are saying like this, what we need to do is we need to introduce one more square bracket here like this. This is the same problem that we have discussed for this particular problem, like int arr of two-dimensional array we are taking, and then int new 3 3. So for example, we have an array of 3 by 3, right? This is basically called matrix, but data, if we see, doesn't get stored in the form of a matrix. It get stored into contiguous memory location. Indexing would be there, like we are doing here. So this indexing would be there. Okay, now if I say access this particular element, so what I will be doing, or what we need to do is we need to say, so we can see this is an array of arrays. How many arrays are there inside this particular array? 3 arrays. This is the 0, this is 1, and this is 2. If I want to access this element, that means we need to access array of 2, and which position it is? In the second position, second index. Basically this is 0th index for this is first, and this is second. So I can access it using, like, we don't have any for loop for now. So what we can say is 2 of 2, and we will get 90. Any doubt? Now let me ask something. Let's say we have 1 and 0. What it will print?
Forty.
40. Very good. Anyone else?
40.
Okay, great. Pravina, I'm asking another question. So I know you got the whole idea already. You have the concept clear. So this question is for everybody else except you. Okay. So I'm writing two line 17 and 18. What would happen in this case? Like, what will be the output?
Place of 60.
Sorry, 60?
In place of 60, 10 will be 20.
10 will be there. Who is speaking?
Saroja.
Saroja, nice try. Anyone else? Okay, let me discuss this. We have 3 arrays inside an array.
We'll get
This
the
is,
out of bound exception, I think.
yes, 0 1 2, right? And again, if I index, so it will be 0, it will be 1, and it will be 2. 0 1 and 2, 0 1 and 2. So if we look at this program, we are saying one of three. One means we are talking about this particular array. 3 means the index is not available or not exist. So that means we'll get an index out of bounds exception. Make sense? I think you got the clear idea. If anybody has any doubt, feel free to ask. I'm assuming all clear. Okay. Now, what if we want to print all the numbers from this array? So like in this case, we were having one loop. In this case, what we need to do is we need two loop. Like let's go back and see. When we want to access 10 from this particular array, when we want to access 10, the first element, we need to write array of 0, 0. When we want to access second one, we need to say 0 of 1. When we need to access next one, we'll say 0 of 2. When we want to access this, we'll say array of 1, 0. Getting my point? When we want to access next one, we'll say 1 of 1, 1 of 2, like this. And next would be like ARR of 2 of 0, 2 of 1, 2 of 2, like this. Okay, any doubt in this? Let me know in case you have any doubt. So from this we can say we have a pattern. What is that? Can you identify and try to write a loop? So when I is 0, in this case, you can say this is I and this one is J. So for all these case, I is 0 and J is 0, 1, 2. So when we were looking at nested loop, we have done this pattern, yes or no? When we have printed like 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, this is the similar kind of thing. Yes. So let me quickly write it here so that you can recall your concept that we have learned. So we will be using one more loop here, that is so in this case, if I say roll numbers dot length, so what it will do, it will check the length of the first for example, let me go back. We have an array of 3 by 3. So whatever the length we have here at this point, it will be considered as array length. So in this case, because both are same, so there is no impact in this program. Let me just quickly run and then I'll make it 3 into 2. Then you will see the difference. Or 3 by 4. Okay, let me print ARR of plus sorry, I, it's J is equals to plus ARR No, sorry, in this case we have roll numbers. So roll numbers of I and J, okay, and its roll numbers. So basically we have numbers from 10 to 19, and you can see the indexes like 00, 01, 02, 10, 11, 12, 20, 21, 22. So sometimes you will see it is called like a matrix. Like here we have row 1, or let me just say row, and in this we will be having column. So this is, let's say, R1, row 1, this is R2, or let me say R0, R1 and R2, and this is C1, C0 and C2. So you can see 0, 0. That means we are talking about this position. When we say 01, that means we are talking about this particular position. When we say 02, that means this one. And it will be, let me write it here. This is 00, this is 01, this is 02, this is 10, 11, and 1, 2, and this will be 20, 21, 22, something like this. You can represent it as a matrix, but in real time it is not a matrix. Memory is inside computer memory or your system or in your JVM. Memory is contiguous, like memory is there. All the memory allocation would be like this, only indexing would be different, like we are doing here in this case. Getting my point? Now, because we were using the same length for, or I'd say indexes for both 3 by 3, let me take 3 by 4. So we have the size as 3 by 4 this time. And if I run it with the same code, what we are getting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, because it is taking the length of the first array. Basically our array is now looking similar to ARR of 3 and 4, for example, like this. Okay, but still we are saying, we are considering the length, the first index. Getting my point? So in this case, what we need to do is, we have another property that is, I believe, let me just recall. So it's I dot, not I, yeah, a roll numbers of I dot length, means what is the size of this array? I mean this array, the sub array, basically what is the length of this? Go till this length. Getting my point? So now you can see we are getting the fourth number as well. Make sense? Let me know in case you have any doubt. Okay, great. So from this discussion, what we have for now, let's say, let me just take it as a matrix. So we have a matrix, let's say 10, 20 and 30, 40, 50, 60. You can write that array something like this. 70, 80, and 90. So what I want is I want to print sum of the diagonal. Okay. You have an array, a multi-dimensional array or a two-dimensional array. You need to print the diagonal sum from that array. So this is your task for tomorrow. Okay. Also try to search an element from an array. Like for example, you have an array of 10 elements. You want to search any variable, just try to find it out inside the array. So do some research on array, and if you face any issue, please come back to me. I'm here to help. Let me know in case you have any doubt so far. If no doubt, then we can move to next concept, which is basically called command line arguments. So you can see we have an array of arguments. We have an array of arguments which is of type string. In similar way, like we have roll numbers of integer type array, we can have different type of arrays. Like we can have string, we can have our custom object. For example, we have person class, and in person tester we have two person object like p1 and p2. If we want to represent 100,000 persons, what we can have is we can have an array of person, like persons new person, because this time data type is person, so I'm writing person here. Okay, how many person you want to write inside? So let me take 5. Okay, so we have an array of person, and before that what we have is we have two persons object, p1 and p2, and let me rename it, let's say Abhi. Okay, and in this person array, how we can add elements? So like we can say persons 0 would be p1 and persons 1 would be p2, or even we can write it like this: persons 2 would be new person, and let me take 30 Gurgam, and a name I'm taking, let's say Jack. Okay, so see, like this we can add elements to our array. Let me know in case you have any doubt. Now I want to show what are the data we have with these persons. So when I say person dot length, that means we have total how many objects in this array? 5 objects. And if I want to access any one of these, what we can say, person p is equals to persons of I. We can write it like this, yes or no? And I can say p dot display info. Let me quickly run it. So for third one, we are getting null pointer exception. Why? Exception in thread main line 19. And I'm saying p dot info. So we have p1, p0, then 1 we have, then 2 we have, and rest of the 2 objects like 3 and 4, which are null basically. So what kind of object exception we are getting? Null pointer exception. So when we are fetching, so let's understand this, why we are getting exception. we have a person array. Okay, here this is 0th index, this is first, this is second, this is third, and this is fourth. So at this position P1 is there, at this position P2 is there, and for this we don't have any name. So let me just write, assume this is P3 already there. Rest of the object will be null, right? Yes or no? So whenever you want to perform any operation or you try to perform an operation with a null object, what will happen? Null pointer exception will be thrown. Okay, let's debug it, because that will help you to understand like how things working. Debug a Java application. So when we say person.length, that means we are extracting the first person from the array, which is 20 Chandigarh Anuj. Getting my point? So in this P, we can just check. We have the information Chandigarh 20 Anuj. Yes or no? And if I say P dot display info, there is no issue with this. Like null pointer exception won't be there, and you can see it's here in the method display information, and it will print the display info. Whatever the task we are doing will be printed on console. You can see it here, right? Let me just reset the mode, like you will be able to see the output and the code simultaneously at the same time. Okay, so now I'm going back. Now I'm getting second person, because this time I value is 1, so we'll get this person object from the array, and we got the second object, which is Chandigarh 20 Abhi. And if I say do this, it will display the information from this object. You can see it, right? And when I say third one, when I is equals to 2, you can see we are getting third object from the array, and which is having information like Gurugram 30 and Jack, and that will be printed as well. Like there is no exception with this. But when we are on fourth object, let me just open it. You can see we are getting null, because we haven't kept that data, right? So we will get null pointer exception, like we are saying null dot info display info. So you can see our program is not going beyond this point, and what we are getting is null pointer exception. Getting my point? So what we can do to avoid this kind of scenario, we can add null check, like if p not equal to null, then only print, or do further processing. If it is null, then that means there is no logic to work a null object. Let me just go ahead and run it. So in this case, you will not get that error. You can see the 3 output we were getting earlier, we are getting, but our program is not getting break. Let's say and is here. So this program will start from line will start by printing start and will end by printing end. So you can see it here, start and end. Okay, but when I'm not adding this check, what will happen? It will not come to the end, will break in the middle. You can see it, isn't it? So using this kind of check, we can avoid this null pointer exception, or there are new optional interface has been introduced in Java 8. We can use that. We'll show like how we can use, we'll see when we will be learning about Java 8 features, right? So till this point, anybody has any doubt, let me know.
P, how we are taking this person P?
Where?
Here P we are declaring here as a type person.
Line number 8.
18.
Can you tell me the line number?
18.
18. So what is your doubt in this?
Yeah, we are taking P as a type person right here.
Yes.
We are not
We can take.
initializing any new or anything for this, and we are
Okay.
taking it as
Okay.
a
Okay. Good.
P
Good.
dot
Good. Good.
display.
Good. Very good. Very good. Okay. Look at this. This is an array of type person, and this array name is persons. You can see at line number 10. Right. Right here. When I say person 0 means this index will hold P1. This will hold P2. This is the first index. This is the second index. This will hold the new. I haven't given any name to this object. Let me just say new.
I got that one, but
Okay.
P we are declaring.
So I'm saying simple. Let's go back. Let's go back. Okay. For example, we were working on this particular problem, right? So the name of array is ARR. Okay. When I say system.out.println ARR of 9, what we will get? What will be printed? Just tell me.
0.
0, because all the elements except the first two are 0. So 0 will be printed. Okay. Now, what if I say int I is equals to, or int x is equals to, let's say I'm saying int x is equals to ARR of 9. So what will be stored in this x? Earlier, what we were doing this value to system.out.println. This time we are giving this value to this x variable. We want to keep this value, whatever it is, into x variable. We can. Similarly, here we want to keep that object into this p. Yes,
As
we
a
can.
variable. Okay.
So we don't really need to take new, because already this is having objects. We are getting object from the array, or just understand it's like it's a bag of object, and there are number of objects available already in this bag. You are just extracting one object and keeping that object into p, and once the loop is like the step is complete, it will go back here and it will do I plus plus, and again it will come here, and value of I will be changed, and new person will be come into picture. Getting my point?
Signing this new we are already mentioned here. New.
Yeah, new we
Okay, we are
already
taking all the array of objects so that we are not taking as a new, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, I got that doubt. Because we are taking it as a p dot display info, right? That's why we are not assigning anywhere. Okay, I got it now.
Okay, if it is creating confusion, let me just do one thing.
No, got it.
We can write it like this, so you can understand it like a mathematics, simple, like this. Does it make sense now?
Yeah, got it.
So it is simple mathematics, like where I am saying person I, I'm assuming it's p. So wherever I'm using this, let's understand it's like left hand side is equals to right hand side. Like wherever I'm using persons I can use p. Simple. because both are same. If we try to
We
understand like
won't use,
mathematics,
yeah. If we won't use a new array of objects, can we get like this? We don't get
where
like this, right? Before P1, we are assigning object, array of object, and P2. If we
this one, right?
assign directly numbers, if we assign directly numbers to the P1 and P2, like
Yes, yes.
arrays, directly we are assigning numbers before we did, right? Like that, if we do, we cannot use this person P right here. We cannot use.
Yes, yes, exactly. So just try to understand, when we say custom object, we need to create that object. Like if we are taking primitive, then we can directly keep that primitive. Like I equals to 10, we can directly put into that array. But when we talk about objects, then first we need to create object, then only we can put that object into the array.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anybody has any other question?
Yeah, Anuj, it's like creating a temp variable. Like that only we are creating a temp object, right?
Inside loop line 18, right?
And inside the loop person P.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah, that's okay.
Like for example, uh, there are multiple methods available in this class, and I want to call each of the method from that class. So better would be use like this name instead of writing persons I multiple time. Getting my point?